Okay. My name is Marius from Fehr. Atelier Populaire is inspired by the Atelier Populaire at the Art Academy in Paris that was active during the May days in 1968. Art students were joined by workers to produce situationist-inspired silk-screen posters that were plastered up all over the city during night. This collective workshop serves as a historical reference to what we want to achieve now. In 1968, for the first time in French history, the rights of immigrants and solidarity with their cause became an integral part of the movement. For instance, one of the posters that were produced spelled "Stop the deportations of our foreign comrades." Another told about the need of a unified force between workers and immigrants. The subtitle of this project is An Artist Initiative for a New Refugee Policy. Norway is heading in the wrong direction, developing one of the most restrictive policies on refugees in Europe. We can aim for nothing less than a fundamental change of policy. Why? Because the Norwegian authorities have built a system that denies refugees the basic rights that are written down in international agreements. Today, Norwegian authorities are forcibly deporting refugees to some of the worst dictatorships in the world. Political activists are being sent to regimes where they have been tortured. Women to countries where they have been subjected to politically motivated rape. Children to countries they have never visited. And families with children are being separated. We know that most of the asylum seekers that come to Norway are in fact refugees with need for protection. They flee from dictatorships like Iran, Ethiopia and Eritrea, wars like in Afghanistan and Somalia. They are stateless like the Palestinians and the Kurds. They flee from repression of political activism, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, gender and ethnic cleansing. That is why a few people leave everything behind and risk the long and perilous road to the cold north. Many perishes on the way, drowning in the Mediterranean, dehydrating in Sahara, or they are enslaved by human traffickers. In Europe, they meet Festung Europa, the new fortified Europe that effectively criminalizes people that tries to seek protection as refugees. Norway participates in this war against the poor and the oppressed. In many cases, the journey of the refugees are heroic journeys. You may even say they are epic ones. But it is not easy to get to know their stories, for when they reach the border controls of Norway, they meet the Asylum Institute. Prejudiced at best, the process of validating their stories to process their legality and validate their right to protection surely bereaves the refugee of her wish to tell anything but the most necessary facts. The Asylum Institute is not securing her rights. The Asylum Institute is not flawless. It is constructed to deny as many refugees as possible their basic rights. And this we will continue to prove. Paperless refugees that have been denied their fundamental rights are refugees fundamental rights as refugees together make tremendous efforts to make the Norwegian people aware of the cruelty of this policy. They have organized several hunger strikes. In 2007, Afghan refugees went on the first asylum march on the Pilgrim's Road through Norway and arranged their asylum academy. In 2011, the largest demonstration against refugee policies in Europe went off when Marius was to be deported. Then the Palestinians protested, put up their camp by Jacob's Church, and in Asylum March 2011, Afghans, Iranians, Kurds, and Ethiopians this time marched together through the country. These manifestations of courage and popular political engagements are no small achievements by a group of people that are denied all fundamental rights, healthcare, the right to build a life with a family, a home, education, work. And most fundamentally, they prove that resistance to a dehumanizing system works. There is a popular movement on the rise. Atelier Populaire Oslo, Palestinerleir, now take part in this movement. Because what does the policy on refugees tell us about Norway? It tells us that Stoltenberg's words after the Utøya massacre are empty words. More democracy, more openness, more humanitarianism, and the policy casts a chilling shadow of the Prime Minister's speech on the Holocaust Day, 70 years after Norwegian police deported the Jews for the extermination camps. He said, "No one, no human being, no minority should need to live in fear in this country." And I can promise you that, Prime Minister, it is exactly fear that you are creating when you sign your deals for forcible deportations with dictatorships around the world. Political opponents are packaged and sent off on special flights. And when these peace-loving people are sent back to their oppressors, you just close your eyes. There is no one from the authorities validating if their decision is correct, if the tortured man is tortured again, if the blogger is killed on the street corner, or if the mother is raped again. So I tell you, Jens Stoltenberg, this is happening again. What you are doing with your propaganda statements about the turnektere and parents that exploit their children to get a permit is that you make acceptance for the dehumanization of foreigners. And what does the forcible deportation of homosexuals that fear the death penalty and women that fear systematic rape tell us about the Norwegian project and about the welfare state? And what does integration really mean? The integration policy is not based on the idea of equality and personal integrity, but on the systematic and systemic racism that we have instituted with the refugee policy. We must remind ourselves that race is a construct. There is only one human race, and divisible into categories. A black man shares 99.99% of his genome with a white man. So let's just get rid of the fear of the other. It's a tool for governing. It is banal, and it is stupidity incarnated. We want the Atelier Populaire Oslo Palestinerleir to be an incentive for coming politics and the coming community. Like Hannah Arendt said after fleeing the methodical extermination of the Jews, the refugees that are being denied in one country after the other is the avant-garde of their people. Let us join them in this open workshop and make a real change. Thank you.